I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars. There's a topic on good old piston heads at the moment. We like a bit of piston heads, do we not?
I really do. I like the journalism. I like the articles. I find it interesting. I find the only thing that I find slightly disagreeable is everyone in the forums.
Don't, as Stephen Fry says, never read the bottom half of the internet.
It's just,
and that is very true.
It used to be a friendly place for friendly folks, but now it's just Captain Opinions and oh dear, it's too much.
Well, the internet's gone that way, hasn't it?
Well, that's it. And if you dare suggest a vehicle, you'll get shot down immediately. Go, oh, it doesn't have at least 500 horsepower. It's dangerously slow.
Dangerously slow.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now.
Anyway, there's a topic on there at the moment that caught my eye that I thought it wouldn't hurt for us to have a little gibber over. Now, the title is The Best Car of the Last 25 Years. Now, we've sort of touched on that before.
We did. I can't remember how we touched on it. Do remind me. It's been a while.
I think we did touch on this before. I think we said the most significant car of the last 25 years.
Oh, that does sound familiar. I don't suppose your memory serves you well enough to remember the things we suggested.
No, it doesn't. My memory isn't that good. I remember I suggested the Tesla Model S at one point. And I believe you suggested the Ford Puma, the original one. But I can't remember the others in the list. However, that's just the title. What they've done, which is quite interesting, is broken it down into different categories, which I don't think we did.
No, I think ours was a catch-all, wasn't it?
So what I thought we could do, if we whiz down their list and see what they have chosen, and we'll agree, disagree, suggest alternatives, and just have a little gibber around it.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. So, best car of the last 25 years. Category number 1. Best sports car. And they have chosen the Lotus Elise S1.
Okay.
Which is not a bad choice.
No, I'll agree. It's not a bad choice, but okay.
But sports car, I mean, there's a lot going on there. Yeah. I would probably, I'd probably not choose a Lotus. I'd maybe go in a different direction. I mean, definition of sports car is kind of got a bit blurred these days, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. I'm not going to argue with you there.
Yeah. Sports car, GT car, I mean, they all get sort of amalgamated together. I mean, obviously, Lotus Elise is a proper sports car.
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah, definitely.
No, it's not what I'd be picking.
No, I don't think it's what I'd be picking either.
I think it's good. I think, don't get me wrong, I would not turn down the Series 1 Elise. I think they're great things. But I don't think it's quite special enough because it's 2 parts been special.
It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah, it is a bit. There's an element of being built to a price there, I think. I'm not saying it's not good, but yeah, I'm not really a sort of Lotus man, really. I could suggest a car that you've suggested for my good lady in the past, Porsche Cayman.
Yeah, I was thinking that I was probably going to go with sort of the original sort of 987 Cayman S.
Yeah,
I think it was where my mind initially jumped. I think it's all things to all men and women. I think I think it's just a cracking thing, and I think it ticks so many boxes. It's not ridiculously priced. It's a hell of a thing to drive. I just think that would be my choice.
That would be my choice. I think, I agree. It's not silly money either. You could use it every day. I mean, the Elise is you're heading more towards track car territory, I think.
You'd feel that if you use that every day.
Yeah, you would. You'd need some treatment, I think. Whereas a Cayman, I think you could genuinely use every day. In fact, I saw one in the supermarket car park just this week. So yes, I think the stuff and waffle choice there would be a Cayman.
Yeah, I think specifically, I'd say 987 Cayman S.
Oh, very good.
To really pin it down, that's.
Please do. Well, they did because they chose the S1. So.
Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as we're not right. Category number 2. Then what have we got?
Category number 2: best hot hatch. Now this is a busy area of the market. Best hot hatch. They have chosen the Toyota GR Yaris.
Yep. Probably a good choice.
Yes, it probably is. I would have considered Fiesta ST, except that doesn't exist anymore, which is a terrible thing.
It doesn't exist, but you're allowed to still vote. Was it within the last 25 years?
It's within the last 25 years. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I have no experience of the GR Yaris, but I hear lots of very good things.
I've sat in one.
Oh, there you go. You're there then.
Yeah, that's as close as I've got. Right. Okay. So. Best hot hatch.
There's a lot going on there, though, isn't there? There's so much to choose from. There's Golf, there's Focus, there's Fiesta.
Right. Again, I've made my choice.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, this is meant to be a drawn-out process. This.
I thought I was trying to spark some sort of discussion. If you come along and say no, then it's going to be a very short episode.
You're allowed to disagree, but I'm just saying, if I was picking, I would say a car that is really revered. It saved a particular edition of car. If I'm honest, I think that's fair to say, and I think it's tipped to become a future classic.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the best hot hatch from the last 25 years is the Mark V Golf GTI.
Yes, of course. I keep forgetting it's 25 years and not current. Yeah. Mark V Golf GTI is very good.
Because the Mark IV GTI was not a GTI. That was just drizzle.
No,
it was that tedious.
Yeah,
but the Mark V really went back to the roots of it. It was a wonderful thing. Styled brilliantly, had the right performance, had the interior alone had the old school tartan.
Perfect. You've got to have that. Yeah, you've got to have that.
What a wonderful thing, because it's one of those cars you can go anywhere, do anything. It's just, you're not going off-roading in it, but you know what I mean? It's one of those cars.
No, it's a hot hatch, yeah. As you said, all things to all men or women. Because 25 years takes us back to 1998.
Yes.
So, there's a lot to choose from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good shout, actually. That's a good shout. Golf GTI.
We're meant to debate this. But no, specifically Mark V. I'm not just saying flat out GTI.
See, we're going back to the Blue Oval, which is mine, as we know. Well, and yours too.
Yeah.
But 1998, we're out of the XR era.
Yes.
But we're not out of the RS era.
No.
And the Focus RS is difficult to ignore.
I agree. I think the Mark 1 Focus RS was ever the thing.
That's a tough call because 98, that's year number 2 for the Mark 1 Focus. I'm saying the RS, Mark 1 RS Focus. I mean, was that a thing in 1998?
I don't think it was in 1998, but it was. I get a feeling.
Of course, after that. Yeah.
2002 was when the RS came out.
Right. Mark 1 RS Focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was standing at a dealership with those 2 cars in front of me, I think I'd go for the Focus.
Okay. I think you and I might have to disagree on that one. I don't think we're going to find the middle ground. I would appreciate your choice of vehicle, but I would still pick mine.
As I would with yours. I just think I'd feel happier looking down at the blue oval on the steering wheel.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll just enjoy me tartan inlays on the seats. So.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I'll enjoy my torque steer, which I believe Mark 1 RS did suffer from.
It did have a little bit of that, but it did have some sort of fancy diff, didn't it, to try and counteract it?
It did. Yeah, they did try and deal with it, but it did still have. Yeah, like to turn right a lot. Yes.
But, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I'd go for a Mark 1 RS Focus for me.
I'm not knocking your choice by any means whatsoever. I think that's very good.
We've chosen 2 real proper hot hatches there.
Yeah, I like that. But no heated debate yet, I'm afraid. No,
not yet. But
no handbags at dawn.
The next category might well elicit some discussion.
Okay, go on, what you got for us?
So the next category is best saloon. Another busy area of the market. Now, they have chosen.
Hang on. Don't tell me what they've chosen.
Okay.
I think that clouds our judgment, possibly.
All right, I won't tell you. Yeah, no, fair dues. I won't tell you.
Okay, good. We're clear on that.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. So, there's a lot of contenders here.
Yeah, there is. There really is.
But I think I know where we're going to be pointing for you. It's going to have either a growler or a leaper on it somewhere.
It might.
Yes.
I might be about to buy the car.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. We're about to be suggesting an S-Type R.
But I don't know, though. I don't know that I would suggest that was the best saloon of the last 25 years. Yes, it's the car I'm quite fancy buying now. I don't know that I would claim it's the best saloon of the last 25 years, though. That's 2 different things.
The best saloon?
Yeah.
Best saloon. Okay. Right,
Depends how you judge it, doesn't it? Because a saloon you could judge on practicality, you could judge on comfort, you could judge on performance, you could judge on price.
Okay.
There's lots of different. Yeah, you could look at
judge
that.
It on all of that. And then you could come to the correct conclusion, which is where I've landed. Because there's a lot to consider here. Before I leap to my answer, there's a lot to take in. We could go Japanese. We could really be going right. We could go right. We're going to have Imprezas. We're going to have Evos. We're going to go full on 90s rally.
Yeah, you could. You really could. Yeah.
But in my eyes, I think. Don't get me wrong, I'd love all of those. But when you're defining a saloon car, I think it needs to be not quite as hard as those.
I agree. Because I think those would get wearing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I'd still like them, but perhaps not for this category. They'd probably fall more towards sports car. Just they would nudge.
Agreed. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, I think they would.
So that leaves us with, obviously the British offering, because that's high up on your list. But what it also
there are a number of offerings from that manufacturer within that timescale, of course.
Yes, there are lots, yes. But there are also an awful lot from Germany.
It's the Germans, yes.
Yes, the Germans brought us many treats, which is where we end up at the correct answer as well. Because if you're going to buy a saloon car from the last 25 years and you want it to be perfection itself, you go and buy a BMW E38 7 Series.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do, and I have looked at them. Seriously looked at them. I told you this. I was looking at one the other week. I had it up on my screen, and my good lady came in. She said, "Oh, kind of that's got piggy nose." You are perilously close to what piston heads have chosen, but you're not spot on.
Oh, right. Okay. That wasn't right. Yeah, I forgot we were matching off.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not what they chose. I would be inclined to agree with you, actually, but I'd also be inclined to agree with them.
Okay, then I know what they've picked.
Because you've looked?
No, I haven't looked. I've deliberately avoided since you said this. I know they were doing this, and I got a feeling I voted in some of these, but I don't think I ever bothered looking at the results.
Fair enough. When are you going to find out?
Yeah. You said perilously close. That means they've picked the E39 M5.
They have. Very good. They have. Yeah.
Which is an excellent choice. But for me, I would go slightly larger. I do. Don't get me wrong. I think the E39 is a great car.
I think you did choose one in one of our lists. I forget which list, but you did. Oh, were we doing cars for less than a particular price?
Maybe.
I think at one point.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, I think you did pick an M5 point in one of our lists. Yeah.
I think an E39, whether it's an M5 or just in normal guys, I think it's a great thing. But I think if I'm not factoring in budget and I can pretend to be a little bit of Bond, then it's going to be 38.
It is a Bond car. It is a Bond car.
Yeah.
As I say, when it comes to buying a car with my own money, I will probably go, well, I almost certainly will go Jag. But as I said, I don't think I would try and claim that was necessarily the best of its kind for the last 25 years. That 7 Series is very compelling, isn't it? It's difficult to argue against that. Because there's other things I thought about, like the Alfa Romeo, was it 156? I think the T-Spark.
But 156, 159 as well.
But that I would choose in wagon form, not saloon.
Yes, correct.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You wouldn't have the saloon. I don't think I'd even consider the saloon. It would have to be the wagon. Doesn't make sense otherwise.
No, and that makes sense in so many other ways as well, because you go, well, you'd think, maybe like, I would assume that someone along the line has suggested an Audi RS4, but you go, well, you don't want the saloon.
Exactly. You don't, do you? Yeah. You want the Avant. Yeah. That's just the way to do it.
Yeah. But if it's saloon only, then it's that BMW.
This is saloon. Yeah, I think even though that's not what I'm going to buy, although it's extremely tempting. Extremely tempting.
Yes.
It's very much number 2 on the list. I think, I would have to agree with you, I think, which I know is boring because people like an argument, but
they do. But okay, that's good. It's nice to know that I am the voice of reason.
maybe on that one small issue that matters.
Well, you thought we were going to have a heated debate on that particular type of vehicle, but no.
Yeah, but we tend to agree on saloons and estates. It's sports cars and supercars where we tend to disagree.
Yeah,
when it comes to our sort of practical dailies, we do tend to like the same sorts of things.
Yeah, we're not too far removed. Okay,
no, we're not.
Right, so we've had our we had hot hatch, sports car, saloons. What we got next?
We next have best track car.
Bloody hell!
Yeah, we're shifting gears here.
Oh. Right.
I won't tell you what they've chosen because, as you say, that might cloud you. So,
okay. So what's interesting? We really need to factor in this 25-year thing because
there's a lot.
There's a lot, but the last time I picked something track toy related, it fell outside this age range bracket, I'm afraid.
Okay, yeah.
Which really does complicate things. Right. Let's have a think. I'm going to have to ask the internet on this because I'm just going to have to double check the age of this because I think it's too old. Yeah, that's going to be too old. It really is.
98 is your baseline for this.
Yes.
As of this recording, in case anyone's listening to this next year.
Why have they done that? There we go. Right. So no, I want not that. That's what I want. 1998. Oh no, we're all right. I was too worried. I was getting too worried for the sake of it there. Right. Okay. I think I'm in.
You got something.
Yeah, I think I'm in. Right. If it were me.
Well, I think it is you.
And yes. I can't. I want something quite analog, but quite revolutionary as well. So I will take the Porsche 911 996, the first GT3 RS from 2003.
That's very specific.
Yeah, so it's the we've had GT3s earlier, but this was the first one with the GT3 RS. So this is proper analog. Remember at the time it was their track car going up against the Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale.
Yes.
Which was not an analog car. That was very electronic. So it's two different takes on it. But yeah, I would have 996 GT3 RS.
I cannot argue with that choice, but it's not what I'm choosing.
Is it not? I'm curious about yours because I want to have a wild guess, but
it's a tough one. You're welcome to have a guess.
If I'm having a guess, I'm going to lean towards a track car that you've mentioned before that you would be interested in. I think it's going to be a John Cooper Works Mini.
That is where my mind went straight away. Yeah.
Okay.
If we're on a track, I want to be in a Mini. I've always said that. Yeah, it would be. It'd be a JCW Mini. Yeah.
That's fine. I appreciate that. I don't think we're going to agree on it, but I think I appreciate that enormously. I'm really happy with my choice and your choice there.
Yeah. I think that I agree. I think two really solid choices. I just think for me, a proper factory tuned Mini out on a track is where it's at for me. I love that generation of Mini because I'm thinking sort of R53 as I always do. That's the only really one of the new minis that really works for me.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with the whole sort of factory thing. That's why I quite like going down the Porsche route. Go, well, that's them doing a track car. That's not someone fiddling with it. So you're going to be in safe hands.
Exactly. I think, their choice for the Lotus Elise, you could equally argue, could be a track car.
Yeah, it really is on the cusp, that one, isn't it?
It is on the cusp, that one. You could go either way with that. But yeah, I think I'd go with the Mini if I was going to go with something that I had to buy with my own money and was really going to enjoy.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I'd go for the Mini.
Would
you like to know what they chose? Yes, they chose Caterham 7.
Really? Which one?
620R.
620R? You're going to be dead.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No,
you're going to arrive at the track and you're going to say to the chap, I'd like to be dead by 11:30, please. Oh, certainly, sir. Take the Caterham.
That's just insane.
Yeah.
Because my Caterham knowledge gets a bit iffy when they go into the numbers.
The numbers and letters, yeah.
But I'm sure a 620S, is that not a supercharged?
620R.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. Sorry. No, I got excited there because that might not be the same thing. Right.
No, 620R.
Should we clarify?
Please do. Yes. They're comparing it to the experience you get on a superbike here.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Quite.
So, what is it? So this is... What are its specs? Can someone just give me the specs? Would that be too much to ask? Apparently
just reading what they say here. They don't give
any specs. It is supercharged.
Oh, it is? Okay, right.
620R.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So it's a 2-litre supercharged, producing over 300 horsepower and 219 pounds-foot of torque, with a claimed 0 to 60 of under 3 seconds.
I'd like to just quote something they've said here. There is no better car than a 7 for helping you to learn what you and it are capable of. I'm not... There's a lot of heavy lifting going on.
That's ridiculous.
I would argue that is not the car to be learning how to track drive in.
Right, so just to be clear here, this is over 300 horsepower, just 310, 311, something like that, with a weight of around 600 kilograms. Actually, a bit less, maybe.
That's going to be as fast as you like, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're going to find bits of you everywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
No, that's while I agree. I think a Caterham would be so much fun, but that is a little death machine, I'm afraid.
Yeah, a 620R. As they're describing it as my first track car, it will be your last as well.
First track, just no, insane. Sorry, but that we need to move on from that because someone's gone doolally there, right?
I think our choices were much better.
Bloody hell, that's right. What we got next? What category?
Oh, we got next. Okay, category next. Best supercar.
Oh my goodness me!
Yes. So we're going silly. Yeah.
Anything goes, basically, doesn't it?
Anything goes, and I must say, I'm not entirely sure what to choose here.
Again, it's that date cutoff, just to make sure we get all this correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 2. I'll whittle it down as we talk through them.
I've got 2, but only one I expect to be taken seriously.
Okay, go on then. You go first.
Well, if you judge a supercar by performance, I'd be very tempted to suggest the Tesla Model S Plaid.
I don't think it's super enough, I'm afraid.
That is not my serious suggestion.
Okay, what is your serious suggestion?
My serious suggestion, which you might consider a little bit bit different, a little bit out there. But it was sort of something that came to mind. A McLaren Mercedes SLR.
Oh, lovely choice. Lovely.
Ooh.
Understated.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
It looks understated, and then you turn the engine on.
Yes.
And it screams at you.
Exactly. But in the car park, it just looks like another Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Right. I've got two. One mildly understated and one off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
So, the understated-ish would be Lexus LFA.
Oh, yeah, that is a good choice. Yeah, that's a really good choice. I actually forgot about that.
And if I was going absolutely balls out, I would say Pagani Zonda Cinque.
Oh, that is a discerning choice.
I think that would be my choice. If we're going supercar, it needs to be really super.
It needs to be really super and really extravagant and silly
exclusive. Well, it says Cinque in the name, and there are only 5 of these.
Okay, so, right. So you're going to have a job getting one.
Yeah.
But
I loved the styling of them. I love that madness. I just think it's just brilliant.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think you can argue with that. That is the essence of supercar, isn't it? If you look up the word supercar in the dictionary, there is a picture of one of those.
Oh, and it's Italian.
Yes,
and it's called Horatio.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes, or Horacio, as Harry says it, but Harry's pronunciation is often a bit off. But
he's probably met him. You think? Come on,
he has multiple times.
Can we not get his name vaguely right?
Apparently not.
We even had one of his cars for a while.
He did quite a while.
Oh no, that's a sore one, isn't it? Because he sold it for a sum, and then that sum became nearly 3 times the amount.
He did not do well on that one. No, that's one of the rare occasions it's made lots of money on it.
Yes, he's a little boo boo.
He didn't do so well there.
No.
I can't argue with that. I mean, Zonda is essence of supercar, isn't it? It just is.
And I significantly prefer it to the Huayra or whatever they call it. Or
yes.
And the new one, is it the Utopia?
Oh, I was reading about that. Yes, I think it is. Yes.
It's just it's the visuals on the Huayra and the Utopia that don't do it as much for me as they did the Zonda.
It was a high point, wasn't it? The original one was a high point. I think you've nailed it there. I mean, it's interesting. We went in 2 very different directions there, as we often do on supercars. I went sort of understated, and you could argue a bit boring. You went completely the opposite way. Although both are Mercedes underpinnings. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think I think the Zonda's more of a discerning choice than going for something like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, that doesn't really interest me.
No, that's it. If you're going sort of Aventador or something like that, you go, that's just an Instagram person. Whereas a Zonda Cinque is a bit more, someone's put thought into that.
That's the trouble, isn't it? Lambos have fallen into the wrong hands, really. Would you like to know what their choice was?
Oh, yeah, I forgot there was...
Again, you have forgotten there was a choice. Because I'm surprised you didn't pick this.
Interesting. You're surprised I didn't pick it. Surprised I didn't pick it.
I like your choice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disappointed you didn't pick it. I'm just surprised you didn't. I thought you would.
Is it a Porsche?
Yes. It is a Carrera GT.
Yeah, so I was torn. I don't think it would have been 918 because I wouldn't have picked a 918. I think it's cool, but I do really adore the Carrera GT. I love the fact that it's kind of a failed racing car. I like the fact that it's analog to a certain extent. It's still manual gearbox, but I think and I certainly wouldn't say no to having it in the garage, but it's not. Probably not wild enough for me. If we're going supercar, I want to be off the charts.
Yeah, and that's what you've chosen, and I think you've chosen well because of that. I think, like you say, if you're going to go silly, you've got to go Zonda. Whereas Porsche don't really do silly.
No, that's why I picked a GT3 RS for a track car.
Yes, and neither do Mercedes, which is why my McLaren is perhaps a bit understated, as you said. But no, I think you're right with the Zonda. Again, I think I don't think that is the best supercar of the last 24 years. I don't think it comes close, actually.
It's difficult, yeah. It's too subjective, I think, as a topic. Supercars.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because everyone knows what a supercar is.
Yeah,
but I think I think silly. Is probably where it should be, and what I've chosen is perhaps a little bit too understated. Although it might be a bit more reliable.
Probably yes.
But then, is that what you want from a supercar? I don't know.
I can give a toss. No,
exactly. You've got other things. So you've got your saloons and things for that. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have we exhausted their categories?
We've exhausted their categories, but I'd like to propose one of our own, right? Because it's a topic that is often close to our hearts, and I would like to propose. This may be a little bit specific, but I would like to propose best sports estate, or shooting brake, or wagon, or whatever.
Okay.
You might
Obviously,
be.
we're still operating within the same date restraint.
Of the last 25 years, yeah, happy to do that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fine.
But I think we both love a fast estate car, and I think it's appropriate to include it. And I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't. But they haven't. So.
Yeah, that is a bit odd, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because they quite often do stuff on estate cars, fast estate cars. They've ignored it there.
So, I'm gonna.
It is tricky because, again, there's quite a lot to choose from.
There really is. I've got something in my head, actually.
I've got a couple of things in my head, but I think I know which one.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am just going to double check dates. I think I'm well within. I'm torn between two German vehicles.
Okay.
One being, I just want to double check and get the correct code number.
Yeah, of course, because it's German. There's always a code number.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So what I've been looking at is one of them is the Mercedes W204. So that is, I think model years were rough. They're looking at this 2008 to 2014-ish. So, but very specifically, I'd have the C63 AMG wagon. They did it in a bright red, really brash. It was before they put black wheels on everything, so you get bright red car, silver
it's
wheels.
A terrible obsession, that. Yes.
Yeah, so
silver wheels. Oh, yeah.
Bright red, silver wheels, 6.2, despite it being a 63, V8. Yeah, that.
Oh, that's a bit naughty. That's a bit naughty, that, isn't it?
Or
to
throw a spanner directly in the works. I get the code numbers again. I would have the Audi C5 variant of the RS6 Avant.
Now that's interesting because we're not really Audi fans, are we? Particularly,
we are not really Audi fans, but that one has the 4.2 V8. It is the Quattro, and crucially, it is the estate from Layer Cake.
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. I was trying to place it, but yes, of course it is.
That throws a little something into the mix.
You do, however, have to drive it all the time with She Sells Sanctuary playing on the CD player.
And immediately get in the car and go, somebody about to get a slap.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
all of that.
That's true. You do. Go watch Layer Cake if you know what we're talking about. And frankly, you should have watched Layer Cake by now anyway, Phil.
Ordinarily, this is where I would go. Now, Phil, Layer Cake is a film from 2004 starring Daniel Craig. It potentially shoehorned him into the role of James Bond.
Yes.
But he's actually seen Layer Cake, and his...
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
His summary was not our summary, and I told him.
No, I imagine it wasn't.
Yes.
Because that is collectively one of our favourite films of all
we
time.
hold it dear.
We do.
And I explained where he went wrong over and over.
I'm sure you did. Yes.
So yeah, that's fine. But I don't know. I would really struggle to pick between those two. What I think I would end up doing, actually, now I said I've struggled. Actually, I'm looking at pictures of both as we speak. The RS6 is of an era of Audi where they're fast estates with massive engines, four-wheel drive. You could mistake them for lower levels of the car. You couldn't do that in the Mercedes.
Yes, I think that's fair to say. Yes.
And for
the big exhaust, the big wheels. Yeah.
For that reason, I'd have the Audi.
You'd have the Audi. Yeah, I think you're probably right in that, because you lose that wolf in sheep's clothing thing, don't you, with Mercedes, because it's so obviously the hot one. Whereas with the Audi, it's not. Yes. Interesting.
Where were you going to go with this? Or have I just ruined it and picked the best ones?
Well, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it? You can probably guess. You can probably guess where I'm going with this.
Is it XF related?
It might be. I'd go XF RS Sport Brake.
I thought so.
If you can find one. 5 litre supercharged V8, 50 brake horsepower, beastly.
Yes,
in the French blue, which they did it in. Yes.
But that does fall into the not understated.
Oh, not in any way, shape, fashion.
No,
that is right in your face.
Which I mean, I like that. Yes. I think I'm sold on that Audi. The fact that I could hide in it.
Yes, I think you've made a wise choice there. The XFR. I mean, again, you'll still struggle to get one even now for less than 50 grand. They are very, very rare. They come up on Auto Trader occasionally, but they're well north of 45 grand. So yeah, finding one would be difficult. I would suggest you'll get the Audi for less money.
Do you know what about the Audi as well? Because it's those early 2000s. Do you know what's really good about it? Is the fact that all of the rear glass is clear.
No privacy glass. Yeah, see, that's standard.
Really?
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Privacy glass is standard on all XL brakes because mine had it. You can't not have it. Didn't Chris Harris buy a BMW a little while ago and paid extra to not have the privacy glass? I seem to remember that came up in an interview somewhere.
That's come up a lot because I've been listening to
collecting cars. Yeah. There were some other options that he couldn't have because he wouldn't have the privacy glass, and BMW said, well, then you can't have, we only build them in certain specs. So if you don't want the privacy glass, you then can't have X, Y, Z.
I got a feeling he might have ended up having to pay for it to be done elsewhere.
Oh, really? Okay.
That does.
So he's put quite a lot of money behind having privacy glass. Yeah,
I'm with him on that. I'd forgotten that he did that, but yeah, I just think it's of an era of car where it's just so elegantly styled, and it doesn't have all of that stuff of going right. All my glass is blacked out. I've got all shouty bits on there. It's just it's just a classless vehicle, and that's why I'd have it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that, and it's an estate.
Mm.
There's something to be said for that, and I must admit, when I look forward now to my next car choice, which is getting quite close now, part of me does still hanker after an estate car rather than a saloon.
It's understandable.
I do find myself thinking, oh, maybe I should, maybe it should be in this, because I do really like a fast estate car. Maybe I should be looking at something different. But okay. I'd still go for the shouty Jag, I think.
That's fine. I'll let you have a go in the Audi, and you can see.
Oh, I'd let you have a go in the Jag. Yes.
How quickly your regret sets in. Oh dear.
No, because I get to look at me well-kept growler.
Oh God. Oh. That feels like a full stop there, doesn't it?
I think we're all done there.
Yeah, all done. Right, there we go. We managed to nearly make it through without any grotty jokes about the certain badges on Jaguars, but well done you.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.